All right, YouTube, back in another video, and today we are starting the drop kit on the truck, a 5.7 drop, and hopefully this video is going to be only about the rear. Next video will be about the front. Probably going to take me about 3 or 4 days, about 6 o'clock Friday night, and hopefully I'm finished by Monday, go get an alignment Monday, everything. Hoping I can run with these wheels because it's about 7 inches to about quarter inch above the tire, and the wheels do stick in a little bit, so I might end up rolling the fenders. Who knows? Really don't want to, but let me show you what's all in the kit I got. All right, so it's kind of dark over here, but new upper control arms, new upper A arms for the front, Beltec shocks all around. This is my C-notch, lowering springs, 2-inch knuckles, or spindles, I mean. This is the flip kit, shock relocators. And I got new U-bolts because I'll show you mine, and the shackles. This is everything that I should need, hoping. And I'm doing 17-inch spindles instead of the 16 because I really do not want to be doing that, drilling the ball joints out from the front. Maybe eventually down the line I'll get new lower control arms for the front. First though, I'm going to get the rear jacked up. Jack stands right above the leaf springs. Pull these wheels off and get right to work. All right, it's going to be really dark probably this whole video, so I apologize. We're on the driver's side. I'm going to go through, take this bolt off. This bolt, there's a little clip right here. There's 2 bolts right here. I think they're all 13s. Take and drop that all down so we get more room, and there's more room back here because I gotta cut the frame right here for my C-notch. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna mark all my lines for my C-notch, and I'll show you before I cut and fit my C-notch up in there. Okay, so I got all the hangers off and everything. I got it marked, you really cannot see, but there's a mark. I used a screwdriver and scribed it. And let me go show you the other side. This one I don't think you can see either, but I can see it. You can kind of see it. So I'm gonna go ahead and support the rear of the frame. I'm gonna cut this side first because there's nothing really you can cut. Practice on this side. Put this one up there. You're gonna have to like grind and get it to fit good, and then drill your holes. 4 holes on each side, 2 on the bottom. So it is a lot of bolts. I think it's 12. Yeah, 12 a piece. And then this middle hole right here is where you will put your bump stop once you have it installed. And these are side specific. See how it flares down, and it's like flares up too, because flares down here and the frame does pop out a little bit. So keep that in mind. This side first because there's nothing you can cut, like I said. And then I'll cut it out, get it fit well, get it in there where it's all the way up, all the way against. Drill the holes in the side, get it bolted, and then drill the holes in the bottom so it's all the way drawn into the frame and then up. And once I have both sides done, I'll show you what they're looking like. All right, so we got this full C-notch done, and I think it's fucking pretty close to being in the center. And this is the only bolt I do not have in because this bolt runs right into this one. So I can't even get a bolt and a nut on there, or I couldn't even tighten it. So I just painted a little bit behind there so it wouldn't rust, and I'll eventually paint this whole part of the frame, paint the whole frame going that way. Gonna do the other side of the C-notch, and then we'll get to work on, probably take the shocks out next or something. We'll figure it out. I got both the C-notches in. You can see the other one on the other side. We'll go ahead and take the shocks off, and I'm going to put the jack under the diff. I'm gonna try to get all these U-bolts off. I think that's the next step. All right, you see I got everything off basically that needs to come off. Got that taken off. This shackle, both shackles actually, these are not factory shackles, but got them out. There's a block, I think the block's over there. I'll show you what the block looks like. And so you cannot get this leaf spring out unless you drop the tank, and this bolt needs to come out that way. Tank, it runs into the tank. I'm obviously not doing that, which you can just loosen that nut on that side and slide the axle over, and the leaf spring, you can get it up under the axle, and then, you know, put your shackle back on, get that all back up, and put your little cup. Go to the other side. That leaf spring can come completely out if you see it right there on the ground. go show you what that whole side is looking like and show you with the block. All right, this is the block. Obviously, it's not a factory block either. I don't think so because these U-bolts were long as hell. And so you're not going to need this, the old shocks. You're not going to need this, goes on top of the leaf spring. New stuff, you don't need this obviously no more because going up under. And I kept this the same way so I'm not flipping it around or anything. You don't do nothing to that side, you just take it out to make it easier on yourself. You put the shackle back up on this side, it goes in this way, specifically this way with the bracing towards the front. And I'll show you how to put your cup on and all that stuff. But slide the axle over. Should have enough slack in your brake lines and your vent lines and all that. Hopefully, I think I can get it over enough. Just needs a few more inches and we'll be good. See, I got the axle on top. All I did was slide it over. And it does put a little stress on that line, but it should be fine. But here is the new shackles. And I'm pretty sure this hole is 7 inches. And then the bottom hole is 8 inches. With me, I need to go to the 7 inches because the tire is going to be super close. I took a picture. We'll see it before and after where it sits. But go ahead, put this on here. Throw my new bolt in. If I get this, throw the not new bolt, my old bolt and the new shackle. And then I'm not gonna show you both sides because it's the same thing. I'm gonna go put the same thing on. Go put it on that side. And I don't remember. I gotta see. You might have to reverse this pin. Oh, it's on this side. Reverse this pin. But I don't know if they redid the bracket where it could sit over. I have to see real quick. I'll go grab the bracket. And we might have to, you know, put some clamps on this. Unbolt this and just flip it over. All right, so got my shackle on. The flat part to the front. And with the actual flip kit, this hole. So they actually did fix them where they built that little hole, so you do not actually have to reverse that nut, but the little hole on both sides needs to go to the front, which would theoretically push the axle back because you are basically lengthening the drive line or the drive shaft because it's going up. But yeah, so the hole in the front, so I'll get both my shackles in, both sides, get that leaf spring back in. I'm gonna have to lift through the back first and lift over the exhaust, because if I do that side first, it's gonna run into the exhaust. So I get both those. Do not tighten them down though, because you want to tighten all this stuff, everything, maybe except for you could probably tighten with U-bolts, but with the suspension loaded. And all these, I'm pretty sure were 65 pounds. And this bumps up, I just twist on there by hand, put the nut, and you're gonna see both on each side. That fucking bolt runs right into this one. I can't put it in there. So that's not gonna be there. Oh well. Probably end up getting this welded anyways, but I think I did a pretty good job for the first time. So I'll get this thrown up, or I'll go put the other one on, get it pushed up. We'll get the axle up in the air, and then we'll move on next to the flip kit. All right, so in reality, the next thing you would do is this top plate. See this little bolt, which would center up in that little hole. So you line that up. And these are actually brand new GM genuine U-bolts. You put them in, but obviously I need to go to the parts store tomorrow and get 8 bolts. Some grade 8 bolts, throw on there. And you put your plate up, you know, bolt it all up. But since I don't have the nuts, I can't do that right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and, I got shock relocators. So then basically extensions. I'm gonna put those on there and then we'll throw the shocks on, I think. So we can you know, keep moving on throughout the night and finish this up tomorrow in the morning. All right, so here are the shock relocators. These just built in. Simple. The old ones used to have a hole and you put a bolt through, but I guess not no more. Probably just holds up against it. And Beltec shocks. Well, these are also Beltec. So go ahead and throw the shock relocators and we'll put the shocks in there, and tomorrow we'll be finishing that up. So I got both of them on, torqued to 70 foot-pounds. I'm gonna go ahead and put the shocks. I'm just gonna tighten the bolts. I'm not gonna torque them until the suspension's loaded. And after that, I'm just gonna put these clips and shit all back up. 2 13 mils, 113 right there, and then a little push clip. And I did take another clip off back here, which I'll just push that clip back in. And after that would be put all the U-bolts in, bolt them in, put the wheels, and torque it all. All right, I got all the shocks in, shock extensions. Everything's done. Throw these 13 mils in real quick. And we're gonna have to call wraps for tonight. It's about 2 in the morning. So tomorrow, first thing in the morning, I'll pick up some bolts. We'll get the U-bolts back bolted together. Get it on these stands I made so I can get up under it. And we will hopefully have this thing on the ground on the rear. I'm got a whole mess to clean up, but catch you back first thing in the morning. All right, so I just came back from the store. I got all the U-bolts in, bolted in. Nothing is torqued besides this so far. So I'm gonna go ahead, double check everything, make sure I got everything on right. Then I will put the wheels on, set it up on my wheel stands I made, and we'll start torquing, and I'll show you, well, I'll tell you what all the torque specs are for everything. All right, so I set the truck down and everything. I was like, why the hell is this side sitting so much higher, right? And this wheel is way farther out, so I'm gonna have to adjust it. See how low this one's sitting? And then this side is sitting real high, and it's kind of out. And I go under here, fucking exhaust is sitting right on the diff, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna have to cut the exhaust up there, and eventually I'll just get it to exit. I want to have the exit right here, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna have to cut the exhaust off real quick. Truck, it's sitting low, really low. I'm guessing I'm gonna have to cut the fenders and, you know, cut them and roll them over. That's the only way. If I want to run these wheels, I might jack it up and put my other wheel on here and see what it's like. But that's it, dropped down 2 inches. I just cut the exhaust off right there, so I'll get it custom to come out right there. But I jumped on the fence a little bit. I'm gonna go through, torque everything, and I think I showed you the torque sheet. It's somewhere around here. Oh, it's right here. That's all the torque specs. So I got it on the ground, and she is sitting low. I might throw my stock tires on for now, because you see a little gap right there, and probably end up getting putting stock shackles back in the back, and now I'll give it an inch up. But you can see she's squatted right now. I kind of like the way it looks. It's not too bad, but she is low. All right, I got the truck turned around. I put these wheels back on because I don't want to be scrubbing the hell out of my other wheels. But it's going to be a wrap on part 1 of the video. We'll start on part 2. Part 2 is going to be all about the front. And basically, I'm just going to put stock shackles back in the back. No reason to show all that. You'll see in the next video how it's sitting after. But thanks for watching this video. Hope to see you in part 2 of this little series.